Shalom, Israel, shalom, shalom. This brother Obadiah from New Wine Congregation. And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the true name of who the world calls God. Bahashem just means in the name of. And Yahweh Shai is the true name of who the world calls Jesus Christ. And this video is going to be called, Did God Allow Black People to Go Through Slavery? Or I might either call it, Did God Allow Black People to Go Through Slavery? Or why did Black people go through slavery? And I actually, I made a video on this, I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks ago, but it wasn't like me recording. It was like kind of like a voiceover, like I kind of screen recorded it, but it's so crazy how this happened, and the Lord put on my spirit to make this video again. So Lord willing, I don't lose the points I had in my first video. I went through hell trying to upload that video. It's like when I screen record the video, and you go to your camera roll, the video it got sound, you can hear it clearly. But once you post it on YouTube, you can't hear the video at all. I tried deleting the video, uploading it again. I tried uploading it to my laptop and try to put it on YouTube. You just couldn't hear it. But it's weird, you can hear it on your camera roll, how you record it. It was volume on, I had the microphone on when I was teaching, but when I posted it on YouTube, you couldn't hear nothing at all. So that just show you how Satan moving, man. His job is to try to distract the people from hearing the word. So the Most High was like, but just make that video again. So Lord willing, this video be edifying. And the reason why I made this, I wanted to make this video, because this video right here of this sister, what she said, and I'm finna let y'all listen to it. Right here. If it plays.
People said slavery happened because Black people turned their backs on God. How do I respond to that? Say, how can I believe in that silver back in the sky if he's down up there watching us suffer? He watched slavery happen. He watches grape happen. I've had things happen to me, and I just can't believe that somebody that has all of these powers, all seeing eye, bitch ass motherfucker up there watching it happen and not doing anything, and I'm supposed to want to be in his kingdom. I want to access to his kingdom. No, thank you. Die. I told you, me and Lucy, who was like, fuck this shit, God, I don't fuck with you. Me and Lucy got more in common. I'm ready to see him, whatever creatures he got, because me and Dracula, we like this. And I was kind of like this with the creatures, with whatever ones he released on them people in motherfucking Wisteria Lane. But anyway, his answer was that Black people turned their back on God, so this is God's punishment. How am I supposed to ever take any of you motherfuckers seriously?
Right. So, and a lot of people say that, right? A lot of people be like, so you saying God allowed Black people to go through slavery? Why would I want to serve a God like that? Or you have some people be like her uncle tried to tell her the reason why Black people going through so much situations or going through so much hell on this earth is because we turned our back on God. And I'm going to show you in the Bible that that's true. And a lot of people really don't understand that because they don't, number one, they don't understand that we the Israelites. And number two, a lot of our people, they never read the Bible. And number three, a lot of our people don't even believe in the Bible. If you truly read this Bible, right, and you understand, if you truly read this Bible, right, and you understand that we the Israelites, so-called Black Hispanic people, when you read the Bible and you realize that we are the Israelites, that we are God's chosen people, and you start getting into the book, like the book of Exodus, getting into the law, and you will realize, dang, we broke our covenant that we made with God. And I'm finna get into that, Lord willing. Y'all stay with me, because this video probably gonna be like an hour long. But y'all stay with me, bro. And I'm gonna prove y'all gonna have, Lord willing, this video help y'all have more understanding on why we went through slavery and why we going through so much hell right now. Because when you just read and study and see, we like her uncle tried to tell her in that video, Black people, we disobeyed God. We broke the covenant that we made with God. And people are like, what you talking about? Let's get into it. The book of Exodus, right? Matter of fact, let me grab my sword real quick, my Bible real quick. I want to read that. I got the scriptures on my phone, but I want to get quicker on my Bible, my sword. Well, you go to Exodus 24. when you go to Exodus 24 and you start at verse 1, it says, and he said unto Moses, come up unto the Lord, thou Aaron. So like, he said unto Moses, come up unto the Lord, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and Russia be afar off. And Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord hath said will we do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings and oxen unto the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in the basins, and half of the blood and he sprinkled on the altar. He took the book of the covenant. The book of the covenant is the law. He took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience. So he reading out the things. So basically, Moses is basically reading out, because our people just said in verse 3, all the words which the Lord said we're going to do. So Moses is literally reading out all the commandments to our people before our people make that covenant. He like, okay, I'm going to read this out to you. I'm going to read everything out that you got to do. It's like it's guidelines. He reading everything out to the children of Israel. And it says, he read it out to the audience of the people. And they said it the second time. Our people, the Israelites, our ancestors, they said, all that the Lord have said will we do and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words. So basically, to sum up what was going on in Exodus 24, our forefathers, right, our ancestors, the Israelites, we are the Israelites. We made a covenant. I'm gonna prove to you in this video that we the Israelites as well too. We made a covenant with God. Understand this. We made a agreement with God. And you heard our people said it 2 times. Whatever you said, we gonna do it. They said that twice. Moses, they said it in verse 3, and they said it again in verse 8 or verse 7. They said it again in verse 7. So our people entered into a covenant with God because they said they agreed. So I'm going to show you another verse going into that. But you got to think about how deep that is, man. We literally telling the God that created everything, the God that created the whole universe, that we're going to be obedient to his laws and commandments. We're going to obey what he said. And our people agreed. And it wasn't just 2 or 3 people that agreed. It was the whole nation of Israel. All our forefathers was there listening, and they said that they was going to agree. Now, stay up with me now. You'll understand more as I keep going, Lord willing. This Exodus chapter 34, and I'm going to start at verse 27. It says, and the Lord said unto Moses, write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words, I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. And there was with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat nor drink water. Eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. So there you go again when you read verse 27. We made a covenant with the Most High God. It was Israel and the God of Israel. We made a covenant with him that we was going to obey him always and keep his commandments. That's why Moses went up 40 days and 40 nights with the Lord to get the commandments with the tables and bring back to us, right? Because we said that we was going to obey. Now it gets good. Now you're going to get when I keep going, you're going to see why the Most High God is so angry with us. And I'm gonna show you also. He's so merciful, bro. The Most High God is so merciful. When you read about the Israelites in the Bible, our forefathers, because the Bible is just a history book. It's not a religious book. The Bible is a history book about a specific group of people, and it's talking about a specific group of people all throughout the Bible, telling them to keep the commandments of God. It's the Israelites. It's our people. When you read the Bible, especially when you read 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings. When you read, we had more wicked kings than we did righteous kings. I mean, all throughout the Bible, Israel was always disobedient to the Lord. So we always question why God treating us like this? Why he got us going through all this? But when you get into the Bible, you will see why. Right? We was disobedient. We was hard-headed to the Most High God. So it's a punishment for us not keeping the covenant, for us breaking the commandments of him, right? Commandments of God, for us doing what we want to do and be disobedient. We do that nowadays. We do what we want to do. America tell us to do whatever we want to do, and we do it. America say you can be whatever you want to be, right? America say you can change your genders, right? You can eat whatever you want to eat. So what our people do? They do whatever the so-called white man say they can do, right? As long as America says it's okay, it's okay. But when it come to God, like we tell our people when we read Leviticus 11, and we say the Bible say you can't eat pork. I don't know if I could do that. I love pork too much. But let them get sick and go to the hospital, and the doctor tell them, you finna die in 2 months if you don't start eating pork. You gotta change your diet up. They gonna change their diet up, right? Because the doctor said if you don't, you gonna die. But when it comes to the God, and he said it in the Bible, our people don't want to change, right? That's been going on back then in history. But check this out, right? Now check this out. This part of the covenant right I'm finna read to y'all. This Deuteronomy 28. I'm gonna start at 28. I'm gonna do it. This Deuteronomy 28:1. It says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. So basically, it's two sides of the coin, right? It's two sides of the coin when it comes to this covenant that we made with God. That's why he just said in verse 28 and verse 1, if you hearken, meaning listen, if you hearken and do what I say, this is what you're going to receive from the covenant. And this way he's going into the things that we're going to receive if we listen and keep his commandments and listen and obey the covenant, right? He says, the Lord thy God going to set us on high above all the nations on the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the Lord, unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kin, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall thy basket and thy store. Blessed shall thou be when thou cometh in, and blessed shall thou be when thou goeth out. The Lord shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thy hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. The Lord shall establish thee in a holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God and walk in his ways. So he's saying, when you read this, this is the blessings that he said we're going to receive if we walk in his ways and keep his commandments. These are the blessings. He said, all the people of the earth shall see thee. All the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. And the Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods and in fruits of thy body, and the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers to give thee. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure in the heaven, to give the rain unto the land in his season, and to bless all that work on thy hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. So he said we're going to lend to many nations, and we're not going to borrow, right? It says, and the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe to do them. He said again, you're going to get all this if you hearken and listen to my commandments, if you keep the covenant that we just made in the book of Exodus. It says, verse 14, and thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right or to the left, or go after other gods to observe them. So he's saying this basically, he's saying if you don't go to the right or to the left, right? If you don't go after other guys, that's what's just breaking the commandment. He's saying you will get these blessings if you keep my commandments. You're gonna receive these blessings. But check out verse 15 though. But it's always a but. He said, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So now the Lord is getting into the curses. He's going to what would happen to us if we don't obey, if we be disobedient and start serving other gods and start breaking his commandments. Now he's finna start showing us what's going to happen to us if we don't listen. Check this out, verse 16. Cursed shall I be in the city, and cursed shall I be in the field. But we just read in verse 28 and verse 3, it just said, blessed shall I be in the city and blessed shall I be in the field. But now it's saying cursed. So if we didn't, as a nation of people, the Israelites, if we didn't listen to God, we was going to get the blessings. We was going to get cursed in the cities instead of blessed in the cities. We was going to get cursed in the fields instead of blessed in the fields. Now check this out. He said, let me get, now when you read verse, it's so many curses, man. Let me get verse 43. It says, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the tail. He shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. But remember, we just read in the blessings that we're not going to, nobody's going to lend to us. Who's going to lend to everybody? Because we was going to be on the top, and people were going to come to us trying to get stuff from us. But the Bible just said if we didn't keep his covenant, he just said the strangers are going to get above us, and we're going to come down very low, and they going to lend to us, and we not going to lend to them. They're going to be the head, and we're going to be the tail. The Bible said in the blessings that we was going to be the head, and the other nations going to be the tail. But now the roles swap to now they the head and we the tail. And that's why when we need a loan or something, we have to go to them. They lending to us now. It ain't supposed to be like that. If we would have kept God's covenant, kept his commandments, and that agreement that we made with him, we wouldn't have to go to the white man for a loan and go to his banks and go to his stores and apply to his jobs. We wouldn't have to do that if we would have kept the covenant that we made with God. This is a punishment because our people didn't keep the commandments of God. This is why we're going through hell. And I'm going to show you. And it talks about slavery happening too. Let me get verse 41. Thou shalt begot sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. The Bible said that we was going to have sons and daughters and not enjoy them because they're going to go into captivity, meaning slavery. Now, this was part of the curses. The Bible said if we didn't keep the covenant, our kids was going to be sent into captivity. And we know that happened during slavery. Now, this was written thousands of years ago before we even got sent over here to America. This was written way before then. So this is what you call prophecy. Something that was spoken before time, and it happened just the way it said it was going to happen. So it said we're going to have sons and daughters and not enjoy them because they're going to get sent into slavery. That happened during the transatlantic slave trade. When we got over here to America, our kids were sold, and we couldn't enjoy their first walk. We couldn't enjoy their first words because soon as they was able to walk and talk, they was in a cotton field or they got sent to another plantation. That's what it's talking about. And it says, let me get verse 445. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearken not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder and upon thy seed forever. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness, and in want of all things. So let me start right there. The Lord says, if we don't, because a lot of our people back then, they wasn't serving the Lord with joyfulness and happiness. They wasn't thankful for what he did for them. Right? They was kind of taking the Lord for granted. That's why he said, because you serve not the Lord with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shall thou serve thy enemy with the Lord, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger. So now we have to serve our enemies now. But back in the blessings that I read in verse 28 and verse 1 on down, the Bible said that they was gonna have to come to us for everything. Right? We was gonna be the head, we was gonna be a top dog. But now the Bible said you have to go to your enemies for hunger. So that's why when you get hungry, you have to go to their stores. You have to go to Chick-fil-A, which is ran by so-called white man. You got to go to KFC, which is ran by the so-called white man. They got his face on it. Wendy's, you got a so-called white woman face on it. That's ran by so-called white people. McDonald's is ran by the so-called white people. Everything that you know, the corner stores is ran by the Arab or the East Indian man. The hair salons, a lot of these hair salons is ran by the so-called Chinese people. So it said in hunger, anything that you want, you got to go to them for it. And it say, and in thirst. When you get thirsty, you have to, when you want that Sprite, when you want that Pepsi, when you want that water, when you want that Gatorade, you have to go to them for it. Right? They making money off those. We don't own Sprite, but guess who they get to advertise those Sprite and Gatorade commercials? Our people. And we don't even own that. You got to pay for water. You got to pay a water bill. You have to literally pay for water that freely falls from the sky. It's a natural source, but why we have to pay for water? That's how you know that we still in captivity. That's crazy to have to pay for water. That's crazy. And to pay for fruit. That's crazy. It says, and in nakedness. So the Bible said, and when you want some clothes, right? When you want that Nike shirt, when you want them Adidas, when you want that Puma, you have to go to them. They own the clothing brands. Even when you think about it, Michael Jordan, he don't even own Jordan. Nike own Jordan. Kanye, he don't even own Adidas. He don't even own Yeezys. Adidas own Yeezy. So it's like we don't get to fully own stuff. You have to go to their stores, even if you have your own business. I know a lot of our people have their own businesses and stuff like that, but you still have to go to their stores to get the stuff you need to start your business. You still, they still taking taxes out, so they still making money off you. So it's like you don't fully get to own your business without them taking money out. So it's like it's not really ours for real. They always getting money off what we making, what we getting. It says, and in one of all things, the Bible said, in one of all things, you're gonna have to serve your oppressor. You want that iPhone, you're gonna have to go to Apple. We don't own Apple, right? When you want that new Jeep, you got to go to them to get that new Jeep, right? When you want to leave the country, you need a passport. You got to go to them to get that passport. Think about it. Anything that you want, you got to go to them one way or another. Either way, they're gonna get something out of you, because the Bible saying one of all things you have to go to your oppressor for. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until you have destroyed thee. So the Bible said, let me show y'all a picture. The Bible said that they was going to put a yoke of iron upon us until they destroyed us. So when I look up yoke of iron, what people had a yoke of iron upon their neck? What people you know had yokes of iron upon their neck? That's a yoke of iron upon his neck. I don't know if y'all can see this picture. They both got yokes of iron upon their neck. And they got yokes of iron upon their neck. I don't know if y'all can see that. But the Bible said that they was going to put a yoke of iron upon our neck until they destroyed us. So when you just look into history, when you look into slavery movies, we was the people that had yokes of iron upon our neck. And they did that to us. But it say until they destroyed us. What do it mean by until they destroyed us? That means they beat us mentally, right? And physically. And then they took the iron upon our neck But now they beat us so bad to the point where they destroyed our history and who we was. They don't need the iron upon our neck no more. We don't need that on our neck no more because we so destroyed mentally. We don't know who he is. We don't know our language. We don't know our culture. We don't know where we come from. That's why the Bible said they're going to have that iron upon your neck until they destroyed you. Especially when you watch the movie Kunta Kinte or Chains or Roots. It's called Roots. When the white man was beating Kunta Kinte, the white man was like, "Your name Toby." He was like, "No, my name Kunta." He was like, "Your name Toby." He kept beating him. He was like, "No, my name Kunta." He kept beating him until he said his name was Toby. So he was destroying his identity from him. And even when you I'm finna say something else. Just like a perfect example, when you have a dog, when you have a collar around your dog neck, and just say whenever your dog go too far, you will yank him back. Every time you try to go too far, you will yank him back. So now it's gonna get to the point where now you can take that chain off his neck, and he know not to go too far because he know that he not supposed to do that because you've been yanking him for so long, telling him not to go that far. It's the same thing with us, bro. It's the same thing with us. They've been beating us for so long to the point where they don't need to physically beat us no more. They do it mentally. They make us think we free now. They give us a couple stimulus checks. They give us maybe employee of the month. They give us a couple jobs, a couple hot jobs. Now we think we free. So they destroyed us mentally. We calling ourselves Black and African American and Negroes and Puerto Ricans and Cubans. We calling ourselves all these names that God never called us. So we destroyed mentally. We don't need chains around our neck no more because we destroyed mentally. And it says, let me get this one right here. Now check this out. This is verse 49. It says, "The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the ends of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand." So this was prophesied that the so-called white man was going to come from afar. And he was going to, he said, whose tongue and nation, whose tongue we was not going to understand. We wasn't understanding English and Spanish before they came over here. We were speaking Hebrew and a lot of different languages. We were very smart people. But they beat that English and Spanish into us. That's why our Hispanic brothers and sisters speak Spanish, because they was conquered by the Spaniards. And we speak English because we was conquered by the Englishmen. That's why we speak English. We wasn't speaking that. English is like a bastard language, bro. I think that's one of the hardest languages to really learn. It's weird. You got 3 or 4 different tools, how you spell two. You got different ways you can spell there. It's weird, bro. Like that, the language is weird, bro. But it says, "A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young." That's America, bro. That's a lot of. They don't care how old you is. They don't care how young you is. If you able to work, you gonna work. If you was able to get in that cotton field and you was 70 years old, you was getting that cotton field. If you were 5 years old and you was able to pick that cotton, they was gonna put you in that cotton field. They didn't care nothing about you, how old you was. It was all about, are you able to do the work? Are you able to pick cotton? Now check this out. I'm gonna get one more, but this just show y'all that these are the blessings, and we going through a lot of these blessings even in today's time. Now let me show you the one that's talking about slavery. Let me get verse 64 real quick. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all the people from one end of the earth even into the other." So the Bible said he was going to scatter us, the Israelites. He said he's going to scatter us from the one end of the earth even into the other. So when did that happen? When did that happen? We were scattered among the earth during slavery. That slave ship took us all around the earth. So that show you that's why it happened. This is why slavery happened. We disobeyed God. We are getting the curses. We are getting the curses instead of the blessings because we broke the covenant that we made with him. And it says, he said, "And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood and stone. So the Bible said when we get off those slave ships, wherever they send us off at, whether they send us to Puerto Rico, rather they send us to here to America, rather they send us to Haiti, right? Rather they send us to Cuba. That's where the slave ships went at. The Bible said that we was going to serve wood and stones. So that was already getting into how we was going to serve idols. And remember what the Most High just said in the agreement. You can't serve other gods. You can't serve other gods. And serving idols, wood and stone, is other gods. So the wood that it's talking about, a lot of times our people bow down to that wooden cross. That's an idol. The stone that it's talking about, a lot of our people are Muslims. And they bow down to that cobblestone. And they walk around the cobblestone. And they kiss the cobblestone. That's the stone. A lot of our people focus on, they put their trust in stones. A lot of times our people believe that crystals give them power and give them wisdom. Right? That's what it's talking about. Now check this out. Check this out. This is verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now let me show y'all what that word Egypt means. The Lord said He's gonna bring us into Egypt again with ships. Now check this out. This Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So the Bible say the land of Egypt is referred to, is also known as the house of bondage. Why is it called the house of bondage? Because we was in bondage and captivity in Egypt. If y'all know anything about the story of Moses and the Israelites, we was in Egypt in captivity. We was serving captivity in Egypt. That's why we built all the pyramids and all that stuff, because we were slaves in Egypt. So when you read verse 68 and it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, that's talking about bondage or slavery, because He said again with ships. See, the first time we didn't need ships to walk out of Egypt. We just walked out of Egypt the first time. We didn't need no ships to leave. But this is talking about another place. It said the Lord gonna bring you into bondage or Egypt again with ships. How did we get over here to America? How did Puerto Ricans get to Puerto Rico? How did the Cubans get to Cuba? By ships. We got over here by ships. Now check this out. By the way whereof I spake unto thee. So He's saying, by the way, He's saying, when I say you're going to come over here on ships, that's what's going to happen. How He said it was going to happen in the Bible, it's exactly how it happened. And there ye shall be sold. So the Bible said, when you get off those slave ships, you are going to be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So we're going to get sold into slave man and slave woman, and no man was going to buy us or redeem us out of captivity. So when you think about it, I know back in like three years ago, something like that, when Kanye said slavery was a choice, and everybody kind of got on his head, like, what is he talking about? Slavery was a choice. We didn't choose to come over here. But if you think about what he actually said, when you read the scriptures, it was a choice. Because if we would have kept the blessings and we would have obeyed God, we would have never went through the stuff and going through the stuff that so-called black people go through. We would never be going through slavery. We had never been going through slavery. It wasn't like God didn't give us a choice. See, a lot of people don't know that because they don't read. A lot of people think, well, why did God allow us to go through this for? We did nothing wrong. Why is He allowing us to go through slavery? Why is He punishing us? We didn't do nothing wrong. But once you read the Bible and you realize that you are the Israelites, and you realize, dang, our ancestors, they broke the covenant with God. If we would have kept the covenant, we would have got the blessings. We would have still been ruling. We would have never got sent over here to America. We would never have to be at the bottom. We would have never been in no projects. We would have never been in no ghetto. We would have never been in no trap houses if we would have kept God's commandments. We would have never been going through what we've been going through what we're going through right now. We would have never went through slavery. You got to truly think about this. The so-called white man, he didn't put us in slavery because he was so stronger than us. He didn't put us through slavery because he was smarter than us. A lot of times, if you've seen a lot of these plantations, it was ran by like 2 slave masters, and you had like 100 slaves on the plantation. They could have easily tried to take over. But they never did. Why? Because this was ordained, this was by God. because we broke his commandments, bruh. We broke his. This was in the agree. This was in the this, and our people knew this. Our people knew this before they made the covenant with God. This was in the papers. This wasn't like how, you know how when rappers sign contracts and the so-called white man, he don't put everything in the contract, or he try to deceive you in the contract. This wasn't like that. The Lord told you this was going to happen. Everything that he said was going to happen is going to happen. It wasn't he didn't hide nothing from us. It wasn't him being deceitful and we didn't know that this was going to happen. No, our people knew this and they agreed to it. They thought the Lord was playing, I guess. But the Lord said that we was going to get sent over here in slave ships and go through slavery. So in that video, when the sister said her uncle said that slavery was a choice because black people disobeyed God, he knew something. He been reading. He knew that we was the Israelites. He knew what was going on, and that's the truth, man. A lot of it happened because we disobeyed God, man. Now check this out right here. When you read about Lamentation, when you read the book of Lamentation, chapter 5 verse 7, it say, our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. So the Bible said our fathers, our forefathers, they have made a covenant with God. And they say they sinned though. They broke that covenant with God, but they not here though. And we have borne their iniquities. So we are bearing the iniquities of what our forefathers and foremothers did. Because think about it, they made it, that covenant that they made, it wasn't just for them. It was a generational covenant. They made that covenant with their kids as well, and with their kids' kids. We didn't have no say so, right? It was just it was a nation covenant that we made with our God. So that's just like, just say your parents inherit something for you, and they pass it down to you. Well, you don't have no say so if you want that or not. They did that for you already. They inherited that for you. And this is why because people always question, well, how can the so-called white people go through so much hell? And they people did all this stuff to us and they not go through nothing. Well, people, you got to understand, they're not going through nothing right now because we're still going through our punishment. Once our punishment is over, they're going to have to pay for what their forefathers did. The Lord is going to judge them as a nation like he did us. They're not getting judged right now because we're still fulfilling our punishment. But once we've done fulfilling our punishments and the role was swapped, they're going to have to pay for the great, I can't say that on camera. Hold on, I'll take my video down. They're going to have to pay for the murder and the robbing that they people did to our people. They're going to have to pay for that. They can't escape all the crimes that they did. See, people that don't read or really don't know, they look at it like, dang, the white race, they did all this, they stole all this stuff from us, and they get to live it up, right? They living up on high, and they think the Lord not going to judge them for that. No, they got a judgment. If you read, because they are the Edomites, they descend from Esau. When you read the book of Obadiah, that's my Hebrew name. That's my favorite book in the Bible. That's where I got my name from. It's a whole judgment going into the Edomites getting judged. It's a whole chapter. There's only one chapter, but it's going to the so-called white race getting judged for what they did to us. So don't think that they escaped their judgment. No, they just not going, their time is not yet. Because we still fulfilling our judgment. So we are going through what our ancestors did because they made that covenant with God for us. If they would have kept that covenant, we would have been on high. We wouldn't worry about no taxes. We wouldn't be worried about no bills. We wouldn't be worried about no working. What working? What are we working for? 3 or 4 jobs. That's not normal. So a lot of our people been so adapted to that, we think that's normal to pay taxes and to pay bills and to work. We're not supposed to be doing that. The reason why is because we didn't listen to God. We are fulfilling our punishment right now. Now, I'm gonna show y'all now. I'm gonna just show y'all a few verses just to show you how, because people don't know how wicked our people was in the Bible. People don't know how merciful God was to our people, and we stabbed them in the back. I'm gonna show y'all this, and when I show y'all these verses, you will see why the Lord was so angry with our people. You will see why he put so much hell on our people, because our people was wicked and still is wicked to this day. Our people don't care about God. We killing each other in the streets. We selling our people dope, right? Our people doing all type of stuff, man. We're showing through our actions that we don't know and love God. It's Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 11. It's Jeremiah 16 and 11, and it says, "Then shall thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me." So our forefathers and foremothers, they literally forsook God, bro. Just imagine a man deliver you out of Egypt, and you forsake him. He feeds you when you was hungry, and you forsake him. That's what our people was doing. They forsook God. They turned their back against God. He didn't turn his back on us because he wanted to. He turned our back because we turned our back on him first. We forsook him. Said the Lord, and have walked after other gods. We forsook our God and started worshiping and started walking after other gods, these idols. And it said, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. See that? We didn't keep the law. We didn't keep his commandments. But remember back in Exodus chapter 24 and Exodus 37, what I read earlier, our forefathers and foremothers said they wasn't going to forsake the law. They said that they was going to keep everything that was said. It just said they forsook the law. They didn't do it. They wasn't a man of their word. They lied. It says, and ye have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye have every one after the imagination of his evil heart, after they may not hearken unto me. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not. Neither ye nor your fathers, and ye shall serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. So the Most High God said, I'm going to send you to another land. And that was said in Deuteronomy 28 and 64. How he said that he was going to scatter us among all the nations. He just said, no, he's going to send us to a whole nother land and we're going to serve other gods because we didn't listen to him. And then he just said he's going to show us no favor. He didn't show us no favor. He seen everything that was going on, but he had to be a man of his word. He had to, because the covenant said what it said. It said that if we didn't listen to God, we was going to go through all that. So God, he had to allow that to happen because our people broke the covenant. And you have people say, well, slavery is so harsh. Why did he allow that to happen out of everything else? You got to think about it. Our people, our people, what do you think he could have did else? What do you think else he could have did for our people to listen to him? Shoot, our people went through slavery and segregation and going through modern day slavery now, and we still don't want to come back to God. So what do you think he could have did better for us to listen to him? What, he could have took our phone away from us? He could have said, y'all, stop it. You think we're going to listen to that? What do you think he could have did more? What do you think he could have did different for us to listen if people say slavery is too hard, it was too harsh? What you think he could have did better that we was on? You got to think about it. Our people, a lot of our people, we don't listen to when people do stuff soft to us, when people speak to us soft. You need to stop smoking. You need to stop smoking cigarettes or you're going to die. You need to stop doing what you're doing or you're going to die. Our people laugh at you if you're speaking like that to them. They need to actually see, damn, bro, he's serious. We're going through all this. He wasn't playing. We need to get ourselves right. This was a punishment, and we going through what we're going through now is for the Lord. He's trying to get our attention. He's trying to get us to wake up. We wasn't sent here in America to live it up. We wasn't sent to America to be happy and be loving and love this place. We were sent here as a punishment because we didn't listen to God. We were sent here as a punishment because we didn't obey God's commandments. So when you read about it, like hold up, when you get the when you reread what I said, he said he wasn't gonna have no favor to us, right? He was gonna turn his back to us. Why? Because we turned his back on him. A lot of stuff that the Lord do, a lot of things that he do that because of us doing it first to him. Or we broke the covenant with God. Okay, now y'all finna get the blessings. Now y'all finna get the curses. Or y'all turn y'all back on me, I'm gonna turn my back on y'all. Right? So that's a lot. That's what a lot of times what happened, man. And a lot of people don't understand the God of Israel. Because they did understand the God of Israel. You understand we going through this because of our disobedience. Because we lied to him. Because we broke his heart. People don't know that the Lord has feelings, man. Right? A lot of times people don't know that the Lord has feelings. When you get the book of Jeremiah, when you get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 44 and verse 1. So this is gonna be a lot of reading right quick. I'm gonna get a lot of reading on this. This Jeremiah starting at verse 1. And it says, the word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell at Migdol, and at Taphiz, and at Noph, and in the country of Pathros, saying, thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, and upon all the cities of Judah. And behold, this day they are at desolation, and no man dwelleth there. Because of their wickedness, which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods, whom they knew not, neither they, ye, nor your fathers. So our people, there they go again. They going and serving other gods. They starting to go serve other gods, right? And even when you read the book of Exodus, our people made a golden calf and said that this is the God that brought us out of Egypt. So our people is known for serving other gods, and our people do that today. See, a God don't just have to be something that you make with your hands and bow down to and worship. A God is anything that you put over the Most High God. Money can become your God. Women can become your God. Idols. Your idols can become your God. Celebrities can become your God. Like anything, eating. People put eating, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. Those things can become your idol, your God, if you put them above the Lord. So our people always been known for having idols and turning their back on God. It says, howbeit I send unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. So understand, the Lord loves us so much, since people think he just hate. Now, when he say, hey, he put us in slavery, that's hate. That's hate. Like the sister said in the video, I don't want to go to his heaven if he treat us like that. I'd rather be with Lucy. She talking about Lucifer. That's off. Anyway, she don't understand how merciful the Lord is. He sent prophets out to warn the people. He sent prophets out to tell the people, hey, y'all need to stop what y'all doing before the Lord kill y'all. And that's the same thing we do. When people see us out there teaching and we telling our people to repent and stop doing the things that they doing, that's God speaking through us to warn them before he killed them. He did that to our people. But it said they hearken not. They didn't even want to listen to the prophets. The prophets was rising up early in the morning to tell them to repent. They didn't even want to listen. Our people didn't want to listen. It says, wherefore my fury and my anger was poured forth and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as this day. Therefore now thus says the Lord, the God of the host, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain, and that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whither ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourself off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. Have you forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? They are not humble even unto this day. So our people ain't even humble to this day, even though the Lord done sent us through so many captivities, because that's how the Lord works. If we obey the Lord, we good. If we disobey the Lord, he allowed other nations to come and put us in captivity. This is why we in captivity now, because we didn't listen to God. We went through numerous of captivities. We've been in captivity damn near our whole life because we disobeying God. He said, even to this day, we still ain't humble. Even though he put us through all these different captivities, even though we went through segregation, or even though they bombed Black Wall Street down, and the movement down, and back in 1995, somewhere 1985, the movement in Philadelphia, they burned that down. We still not humble. Even though they stole everything from us, they gave us white Jesus. We still not humble. We still okay with how we living. It says, neither have they feared nor walked in my law. So the Bible said, y'all ain't walking my commandments. Y'all ain't walking my law. But y'all said in Exodus 24 that y'all was going to listen and obey me. But y'all still not doing it. It says, nor are my statutes that I set before you before your fathers. Therefore, thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil and to cut off all Judah. So now that's when the Lord got to be like, now I'm turning my face against y'all. I tried everything. I sent my prophets out to warn y'all. I was patient and merciful to y'all, but y'all don't want to listen. So what else do y'all want God to do? He like, now I'm turning my back against y'all now. I don't have no other choice now. Y'all not listening to nothing I'm saying. He said, and I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their face to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, and they shall all consume and fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by famine, and they shall die from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine, and they shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, so that none of the remnant of Judah which are going into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah, to the which they have a desire to return to dwell there, for none shall return but such as shall escape. Then all the men which knew that their wives have burnt incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt and Pathros, to answer Jeremiah, saying, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we would not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly do whatsoever everything goes forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings, and our princes in the city of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well saved, no evil. So our people was burning incense to the Queen of heaven. So our people was in deep idolatry, bro. We was into deep idolatry. We turned our back on the Lord, man. So this is why the Lord allowed so much stuff to happen to us, because we didn't care about the Lord. We like, bro, I'm turning my back against him. And that's what happened. So when you get Exodus 4, going back to the book of Exodus, going back to where we made the covenant with God at, the book that we made the covenant with God at. Exodus 14, starting at verse 1. Exodus 14 in verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, that's us, that they turn and encamp before I don't know how to say that, between Migdol and the sea over against Baal-zephon, before it shall ye encamp by the sea. For Pharaoh was saying to the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land, the wilderness hath shut them in, and I have hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them, and I will be honored unto Pharaoh and upon all his hosts, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. Now y'all check this out. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and of his servants were turned against the people. And they said, why have we done this, that we have let Israel go for serving us? So this is going into the time of Pharaoh just let us out of Egypt. So now he questioned, like, why did we just let them Israelites go? We're finna go chase after them now. Check this out. And he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots and all the chariots of Egypt and captains over every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel. So now they're chasing after us. Now they coming after us, now chasing after us, trying to get us, put us back in slavery. It said, what I was at? But all the Egyptians pursued after them, all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea beside Philthroth before Beelzephon. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were so afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. So our people, they so scared. They're crying out to the Lord, right? Let's see what they say. And they said unto Moses, because there was no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us, carried us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. So I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all, if y'all, I'm finna explain what just happened, what is being said. So the Israelites, our people, was literally just in slavery under Pharaoh. When you see Pharaoh trying to chase us back because we were just in slavery under him. Now you had our people begging. Before they was begging to get out of slavery. They was begging, they was tired, and the Lord heard their cries. So when the Lord freed them out of Egypt, and our people turn around and see Pharaoh chasing after them, they talking about it would have been better for us to stay in Egypt. I want y'all to understand how crazy that sounds, bro. They just said it would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than we should die in the wilderness. So after you just seen all the miracles that the Lord just did for us, we seen all the miracles that he just did for us. Our people is talking about going back to slavery after the Lord used Moses to free us out of slavery. That's like a slap in the face. Understand? That's like a slap in the face. Just imagine you do something for somebody. It's like just imagine somebody was begging for your help and you finally helped them out. Then they turn around and say, bro, you should have never even helped me, bro. You should have left me alone. How would you feel? You'll be like, dang, bro, what's going on? I just literally just helped you. And you telling me I shouldn't help you after you were just begging me to help you? That's the same thing with what happened with our forefathers in the Lord. They saying it would have been better for the Lord to left us in Egypt, but you were just begging for the Lord to get you out of Egypt. Now you see what the Lord dealing with, man. Now you see what the Lord dealing with. The Lord said that we are a rebellious people, bro. Right? So when you get hold up. The Lord said that we was a rebellious and hard-headed people, bro. That's crazy to me. That our people can say, you should have left us in Egypt. But you were just asking to get out of Egypt. Let me see if I can find that verse of our people asking to get out of Egypt. I don't know exactly what the verse is. This the book of Exodus, chapter 2 and verse It's Exodus chapter 3 and verse 9. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. So the Lord, our people was crying so bad and begging for saving so bad, the Lord heard it in the heavens. And the Lord seen the oppression that the Egyptians was doing to us. But yet our people want to turn around and go back there because they scared and they starting to see a little tribulation, a little temptation coming. Now they want to turn around and go back that way. It don't make sense. So when you get the book of Numbers, let's get Numbers. Our people it shows in the scripture, our people, a lot of times, we never were thankful for the Lord. Even when you get into Kings, Our people, when you read 1 Samuel, our people wanted a king. We had a king. We had the God of Israel fighting for us, but our people wanted a king like the other nations, a man ruling over them instead of the Lord. So just think about that. The Lord, that's a slap in the face. You want a man, a king ruling over y'all when y'all got me, the one that created everything? That's a slap in the face of the Lord. So when you get Numbers 14, when you get the book of Numbers chapter 14, you say, I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, and all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. So our people, the Israelites, crying. It says, and all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we have died in the wilderness? So it's like our people always had something to say. Every time things went, that's how you know that's our people. We do that today. Anytime something ain't going our way, we start murmuring. We start whispering under our breath. We start talking trash about that person. They just said, did God want us to die in Egypt? Or he want us to die? Did he take us out of Egypt for us to die in the wilderness? So it's like our people always had something to say against God. And it says, and wherefore hath the Lord brought us into this land to fall by the sword, and our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? So they still talking about going back. They were just literally crying, and they begging to go back. That's like we get delivered from America, right? That's like the Lord saved us from America out of this captivity. And our people begging to go back to America after he just saved us out of here. And it's the same thing they doing. It says, and they said one to another, let us make a captain and let us return into Egypt. They just said, bump Moses, bump God. Let us put a man over us that's gonna guide us and lead us back to Egypt. So they literally trying to go. They dead serious. Our forefathers and foremothers dead serious. They trying to go back into slavery. They trying to go back. They trying to get a leader. They trying to set a man over them to send them back into Egypt. They were just begging to get out of Egypt. I want people to, that's why I keep saying that. They were just literally begging to get out of Egypt. Now they trying to go back into Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. And they spake to all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it, it is a exceedingly good land. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into the land and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Fear thee not. So the Lord had a land for us. He had a perfect land for us. So a lot of times it comes with obedience. See, you know, a lot of times that people always speak on loyalty. I'm big on loyalty. Loyalty, I'm big on that. The Lord big on obeying and loyalty. If you listen to the Lord and obey his words, he'll give you anything in the world. Just like your parents. If you was a child and you obeyed your parents, they wouldn't mind giving you what you wanted. That PS5, that iPhone, them new shoes. They wouldn't mind that because you was obeying them and you listened to them. But if you were disobeying them, man, they weren't finna get you no PS5, no shoes. So the Lord is big on obeying. He said, oh, just obey my covenant, bro. Obey my covenant. And I will give you this land. So when you read on, it says, but all the congregation bathed stone with stones, and the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be they believe me? They believe me, for all the signs which I have shown among them. So the Lord, like, how long is the Israelites going to disobey me? After all the signs I just showed them out of Egypt, all the miracles I done showed them, how long are they going to obey or disobey me? That's what the Lord asking. How I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they. And Moses said unto the Lord, then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou broughtest up the people in thy might from among them. And they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land, for they have heard that thou, Lord, art among this people, and thou, our Lord, art seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them, and that thou goest before them by day into a pillar of a cloud, and in a pillar of fire by night. Now if thou shalt kill all this people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of thee will speak, saying, because the Lord was not able to bring this people into the land which he sware unto them, therefore he has slain them in the wilderness. And now I beseech thee, let the power of my Lord be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, the Lord is long-suffering and of great mercy. So the Lord is long-suffering, and he's full of mercy, full of compassion, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting iniquity of their fathers upon the children, upon the third and fourth generation. Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people according to the greatness of thy mercy, and as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt even unto now. And the Lord said, I have pardoned according to thy word. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. So I want y'all to understand what was finna happen. The God of Israel, right? He was so angry at us, at the children of Israel. He was so angry at our foreparents. He was finna wipe them off the face of the earth and make a new nation after Moses' name. So it wasn't finna be no more Israelites. It wasn't finna be us. It wasn't finna be the name of Israel no more. He was finna wipe us off the earth and make a new nation after Moses. But Moses said, Lord, don't do that. Moses is humble. Moses is meek. Moses told the Lord. Now Moses could have said, okay, Lord, that's fine. You can do that. Go ahead and wipe them off and you make the nation after me. Moses was like, don't do that. If you do that, the other nations going to talk about you, and they're going to feel like you wasn't able to deliver the children of Israel, that you wasn't able to do nothing for them. So the Lord was like, okay, you right. I ain't going to do that. If it wasn't for Moses, the Lord was finna kill us off this earth, bro. Because our people was getting on the Lord's nerves, being ungrateful and not thankful. The Lord was finna kill us, bro. But the Lord got mercy and compassion. He forgave us for doing all that wickedness, bro. So when you get Exodus, then going back to the book of Exodus, when you get Exodus 16. So all this stuff, I'm pulling these scriptures out to show you why the Lord allowed us to go through what we're going through, because we're the same people. King Solomon said in the book of Ecclesiastes, it's nothing new under the sun. It's nothing new under the sun. So what our people was doing back then, our people doing in today's time. So the Lord, that's why he's still angry, because he's like, how y'all, it been thousands of years and y'all still want to do the same thing. So it's like he upset, man. So check this out. This is proof that we the Israelites. Exodus chapter 16 and verse 2. When you read the book of Exodus chapter 16 and verse 2, it says, and the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured. So there they go again. They murmuring against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we have died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have broken us forth in this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. So our people going like a little bit without eating. Now they reminiscing about Egypt. Damn, I'm a little hungry right now. I remember in Egypt, we ate what we wanted to eat. We wasn't hungry in Egypt. Even though they was beating us and whipping us and giving us hard bondage, they still fed us. The Lord, is he gonna kill us here? That's just like like I said, the Lord delivered us out of America and he put us in the wilderness. And our people reminiscing about McDonald's. Damn, I remember we used to eat McDonald's all the time. I remember we had Wingstop. I remember I could just call Uber Eats and DoorDash and they'll come right away. I ain't have to worry about my stomach bubbling and growling. And that people thinking about America. It's the same thing back then. Our people were thinking about slavery, going back to slavery after the Lord just had mercy upon them and delivered us out of Egypt. It says, then said the Lord unto Moses, because I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, and I may provoke them whether they will walk in my law or no. Hold up. So even though our people was begging and being ungrateful, the Lord still said, I'm gonna give these people bread. The Lord could have been like, man, y'all being ungrateful, I'm not gonna give y'all nothing. But the Lord was so merciful, he was like, okay, I'm gonna feed them. And it says, and it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel, at evening, then ye shall know that the Lord hath brought you out from the land of Egypt. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of the Lord, for that he heard your murmuring against the Lord. And what are we that ye murmur against us? So Moses is like, y'all think y'all murmuring against me, but y'all are really murmuring against the Lord. It's the same thing in today's time. When we out there teaching the Bible, a lot of people always got something to say about us. They be murmuring against us. They think they're doing that against us, but they really doing that against the Lord. Because we out there, we sent from the Lord to go out there and teach. So it say, and Moses said, this shall be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. For the Lord heareth your murmuring which ye murmured against him. And what are we? Your murmuring are not against us, but against the Lord. So the Lord like, man, I heard y'all murmuring. Like, bro, I'm finna give y'all some food. Now, when you read verse, what that verse said? Let me get this verse right here. This verse 16. It's Exodus 16 and 16. This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. This is the thing that the Lord hath commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, and Omar for every man according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered some more and some less. So the Lord basically saying, gather everything you want. Gather all the food you want. Some gathered a lot, and some gathered little, right? It says, and when they did meet it with an Omar, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. Check this out. And Moses said, let no man leave of it to the morning. So the Lord say, don't leave none of that don't leave none of the food to the morning. Eat all of it. Don't leave none to the morning. Let's see what our forefathers and foremothers did. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left of it until the morning. And it was bread, worms, and stank. And Moses was wroth with them. So it's like, a lot of our people, they didn't listen. Now you did have, I ain't gonna say all of our people wasn't like that. You had some of our people that actually feared God and want to listen, but a lot of our people didn't. Moses just told them, don't leave no bread to the morning. They tried to leave something to the morning. Disobedient. It always goes back to disobedient. We in this situation now because of disobedience to the Lord. Now, I got a video real quick. Hold on, is that what I... Now I got a video. I got a video I want to show y'all real quick. Now y'all know what I just read. Now this is the time in the book of Exodus what I'm reading about. The children of Israel, they in the wilderness. They're in the wilderness with Moses. And you know how they was murmuring. You know how they was murmuring against Moses. Now I got a video of a sister asking her mother, "What would I think she said? I can't remember exactly what she said. I think she said, "What would you do or something like that if you was in the wilderness with Moses?" Now watch how, exactly the stuff that she said in this video is the stuff that the children of Israel was saying in the wilderness. It's like I say, it's nothing new under the sun. We are the same people that was back then. So this is proof that we the Israelites, because she said she basically gonna be murmuring against Moses. And that just shows you that's how she is, how this woman is in this video. That's how majority of Israel was back then in the wilderness. And even in today's time, if a lot of our people had to go in the wilderness, they would talk the same way this elderly sister talking. Now pay attention to what she said. Listen to how she talking.
Do you think that you could survive with the children of Israel wandering for 40 years?
No, because I got on my nerve. Now, I've been, like they said, we done passed this tree before. No, we going the wrong way. How many times we going around this?
So you'd be the main one, Mama.
Yes, I would. I sure would have.
Now, what you would have said to Moses?
Moses, you get some better direction than this, because this don't make no bit of sense. Now, you go up to that mountain, you come back down with this? I'm wandering around like this? You didn't even go up in the mountain for that.
Wow, Lord. Wow, you the main one. And you was talking about murmuring and complaining. You would not have made it to the promised land.
I sure would have.
And see, hold up, pause. I'm gonna start it back. That's how Darla just said, you wouldn't even make it to the promised land. She's like, So she said she went, if she was during that time, she wouldn't have made it to the promised land. She would have been asking Moses, what you doing? Moses, think about 1,000 of her. Just think about it's 1,000 of her in the kingdom of heaven. I mean, it's 1,000 of her in the wilderness that Moses got to hear every day, saying the same thing she's saying. That'll run a man crazy. You hearing 1,000 Israelites saying this same thing. Moses, what you doing? Moses, where the food at? Moses, is this the right way? Moses, where we going? Moses, I'm hungry. Moses, send us back to Egypt. Moses this, Moses that. God. No, listen. Moses is a strong brother, bro. I'm gonna just say that.
I sure would have.
Now, what you would have said to Moses?
Moses, you get some better direction than this, because this don't make no bit of sense. Now, you go up to that mountain, you come back down with this?